Welcome to the 14th episode of the Three Sportsmen podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Kurt.
I'm Sam.
And I'm Trey.
And in this episode, we are going to be making our predictions for the 2020 NBA playoffs in the Orlando bubble. But first, before we get started, we'd really appreciate it if you subscribed to the channel, checked out our other episodes of the podcast, and followed us on social media, on Twitter,
At podcast T3S.
and on Instagram.
At T3S Podcast.
We would really appreciate any support. So let's get started with this episode, but before, we have some NHL news from Sam.
So real quick, since we're all Blackhawks fans here, just the other day, the Blackhawks signed two free agents, Wyatt Kalynuk and P.S. Suter. Kalynuk was he was a junior at Wisconsin. He was their captain. Great defenseman, great all-around defensive defenseman. He'll look good, and then he'll look good playing next to Kane, Doc, and maybe Tepley if he comes up this year. We also signed P.S. Suter, another great pickup from the Swiss League. He played at World Juniors this past year, and he led the league. He led the Swiss League with 30 goals and 23 assists. So led the league in points. And we all know the last time Bowman picked up a guy who led that league in points turned out to be Calder Trophy finalist Dominic Kubalik. So that was just a little quick update.
You also signed Ian Mitchell, right?
They finalized his contract.
The contract.
They finalized his contract. He's going to be getting paid $925,000 a year. Just an entry-level contract. Should be playing in the NHL this year. I don't know how it's going to play out with the bubble, though. I don't know if they're going to be allowed to play in the bubble or not.
I don't know. We'll have to see.
I don't know. We'll have to see, though.
That's starting at the beginning of August, so.
Yep. August 1st is the first Hawks versus Oilers game.
2 weeks away-ish.
Yep.
Getting close.
Yeah. So now to start our NBA predictions, we need to talk about the teams in the bubble first. For the Eastern Conference, I personally think it's pretty simple. 9 teams are in. One of them can't make the playoffs, and I think we all agree on that one team. At least, I hope we do.
I hope so, too. It's definitely the Wizards.
Yep.
No Bradley Beal.
Beal isn't going to be playing, so.
Yeah.
Dude, the Wizards are useless. They're a useless team in the NBA. Just sell the team. You guys are useless. Just trade Bradley Beal somewhere else. You guys are wasting his career.
I mean, we'll see about that. If John Wall comes back fully healthy, which he's not playing in the bubble either, they could be good in a couple years.
He's not going to be that good.
He'll be okay. I think Beal
he'll still be decent.
He'll still be decent.
Yeah.
The contract is horrible. But it's Bradley Beal's team now. The past couple of years have just shown how dominant of a player he is. But without Beal, I don't think they can make the playoffs.
They're a joke.
Let me check the standings right now to see how many games back they are.
No, whatever his name is, Gortat.
Gortat, the center?
Yeah, Gortat. Gortat's not playing.
He hasn't been on the team in a while.
Or Gortat. There's somebody else deferred from the Wizards too. It wasn't just Beal.
It's what's his name? I know who you're talking about.
Well, right now the Wizards are 5.5 games back from the Orlando Magic, who currently have the 8th seed. So they need to be within 4 to force that play-in tournament. And even if they are able to do that, I don't think they would win.
Were you talking about Bertans?
Yeah,
Davis
Bertans.
Yeah, Bertans.
Yeah.
That's who you're talking about.
Then in the Western Conference, things get interesting because there are 13 teams who are in the bubble. And honestly, I don't think a lot of them should be there. the Suns really don't have a chance at making it unless someone who is in contention goes
Quick
0-8.
Maybe the
question.
Spurs really.
Quick question. So is Jokic playing or not? Because I have seen so many reports saying, oh, Jokic is playing. Oh, no, Jokic isn't playing. And I'm like, what is
I'm pretty
this?
sure he is. I think he is.
He's in Orlando.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. God. Fake
So
news.
as of right now, I would guess he is. But who knows? That could change. I heard Oladipo on the
Chicago
Pacers.
Dogs. The Chicago
considered.
Dogs deserve to be in the bubble.
Chicago Dogs.
Yes, they do.
I honestly don't think the Kings have a shot either.
No.
I mean, like, how many? 4 players on that team have tested positive, so
It's just
And
a
they
steep
had,
gap, anyways.
They also had Richaun Holmes.
yeah, Rashawn Holmes sneaking out for food.
Hey man, I don't blame him. I've seen some videos of the Bucks on Instagram and like their video, like what food they have, and it looks really, really bad.
If you haven't already, Sam, Trey, and anyone watching this, if you haven't seen Matisse Thybulle's vlogs of the bubble, they are really good.
Are they?
Yeah, seriously. They're very good quality. And it gives you a look into what life inside the Orlando bubble is like. So if you haven't seen those yet, check them out. They're pretty solid, honestly.
Might have to.
So that really leaves for the 8th seed New Orleans, Portland, and the current 8th seed Memphis. What do you guys think happens there?
I think Memphis keeps it. I think it's too big of a hole to climb for Portland and the Pelicans.
No. Well, they're gonna put the Pelicans in there because they want to see Zion and ESPN pants whenever there's something about Zion. Oh my God, Zion took a drink out of his water bottle.
Keep in mind, the play-in tournament happens if they're within 4 games. Currently, the Kings, Pelicans, and Blazers are all 3.5 games.
I don't see them catching up.
So it doesn't
Is
matter
there
if
gonna
they
be able to-
catch up. As long as they're within 4 games, the play-in is forced regardless. So I think
I forgot about that part.
I think New Orleans and maybe Portland, but I think by the end of the 8 games, I like the Pelicans' schedule more than I like the Blazers. So I think New Orleans is going to force that play-in, and I think they could beat Memphis twice.
No, they can't. I don't think New Orleans is that good. I think Memphis would beat New Orleans.
Oh, they might have a shot.
I personally like New Orleans roster more. Drew Holiday is really solid. They have JJ Redick, Lonzo, Brandon Ingram.
Lonzo. Oh my God.
Yeah, if he's your 5th option, if he's like your 4th or 5th option, that's not that bad.
Oh my God.
If he's your 4th or 5th option, that's not that bad.
I would
Ingram
take
and Zion's
Thaddeus
good,
Young.
though.
Because
I would take Thaddeus Young and Tomas Satoransky over Lonzo Ball.
well,
That's a weird comparison with Thaddeus.
Thad Young plays a completely different position, but okay.
I don't care.
But you've got Ingram, you've got Zion, you've got Drew Holiday.
Trey, we saw Zion. Did you see how long it took him to get up the court?
Yeah. I don't know.
It took him
still
like
think
40
Zion's
years.
good. Zion and Ingram are going to be good together.
Yeah,
And I wouldn't be surprised if there are some questionable calls that try to just like nudge New Orleans into the playoffs.
Didn't Zion gain like 15 pounds this quarantine or
I thought
something
he
like
lost
that?
weight. I thought
I
he
heard
actually
he
lost
gained.
weight.
I heard he gained weight.
Was it gained or lost?
I heard that he gained weight. I heard that he gained like 10, 15 pounds.
I'm going to look it up.
Oh, he lost weight, it seems.
It says he lost 25 pounds and
What
put 10
the
pounds of
fuck?
muscle on.
I don't know. That must have been what it is. I think he lost 20 pounds and then gained 15 pounds of muscle. I don't know.
I still think the Pelicans have more star power. They're a more well-rounded team, a more well-rounded offensive attack compared to Memphis. And Memphis is really good. I like their future. I just don't think that they're there yet.
But they only have to win one game, though, right?
Yeah.
See, that's where I think they would have the advantage still. If it was just a one-game play-in, maybe it would be different. But I don't know. They would have to beat the Grizzlies twice in a row.
I mean, regardless, they're going to play the Lakers. So,
yeah, it doesn't really matter.
Speaking of that, let's just get into that. I think whoever ends up with the 8th seed, they're going to lose to the Lakers. What do you guys think about that?
Well,
I think the Lakers will sweep.
The Lakers would destroy. Well, no, I mean, of course, they're going to get some – New Orleans is going to get some calls just so the NBA can see LeBron versus Zion.
The Lakers win the series, though.
They're going to sweep
the out of the Pelicans.
All right, then staying in the West, for the 4-5 matchup, who do you have?
I'm taking Utah. I'm taking
the Thunder.
I'm taking Utah, 100%.
You guys had Jazz Thunder as your series?
Yeah,
I did.
Well,
I had the Thunder taking the 4 seed, though.
Well, I don't know just yet. Because I want to see how Rudy Gobert and Donovan Mitchell are able to play together.
Yeah, that's my concern.
I think that's what it's going to come down to. But if they can't play well, I'm taking Oklahoma.
If they can't play well, then Oklahoma. I like Oklahoma.
I'm taking Chris Paul and SGA. I think they're going to win.
Utah's had Oklahoma City's number the past couple years, so I'm not basing it solely off of that. But if Mike Conley's decent, Donovan Mitchell is still really solid. Joe Ingles,
the Jazz haven't really played that well in the playoffs.
Donovan Mitchell's more than solid.
Yeah, he's more than solid.
He's insane. Him and Moutier were throwing down dunks at the bubble today. They were insane.
Oh yeah, I saw that. I personally think that Utah is going to win if they play the Thunder. That's my prediction right now. But we'll see.
I'm giving the Thunder. I think it's going to be a tough series, though.
It's going to be one of those 6-7 game series, probably.
Yeah.
For the 3-6 matchup, who do you have? Sam, let's start with you.
3 and 6?
Yep.
Oh, Denver.
Denver over who?
The Houston.
I got Denver, but I think it might be closer than people think.
Okay.
I don't know.
I changed it up a little bit for my 3 versus 6. I had it as Nuggets and Mavericks.
Okay.
I don't trust Denver as a postseason team just yet. And Luka's a magical player.
That would be interesting if that panned out.
I think if it's Nuggets Rockets, I think it's a different story because of the strengths of those teams. But for Nuggets and Mavericks, I have the Mavericks winning that 3-6 matchup.
Okay. I mean, I could see that. The Nuggets are kind of a regular season team for the most part, a lot of years.
And Jokic is still a bit of a question mark.
Well, just remember the time that Denver played the Lakers in LA, they stuck with them all game. They took them to overtime. Just remember that.
Yeah, regular season.
Yeah, playoffs a whole new animal.
Well, I mean, they got my MPJ now, so I don't know. I'm taking the Nuggets with MPJ.
If Michael Porter Jr. is fully healthy,
Michael Porter Jr. is not a bad player.
Oh, he's a great player. I think he has a ton of potential, but the health is a huge concern with him.
Yeah.
True.
So then that brings us to our 2-7 matchup.
I have Clippers and Dallas.
Trey, I'm assuming you have the same.
Yeah,
That's the
I
only
got,
team
I
you
got the
haven't said.
Clippers beating Dallas. I think it's going to be like a 5-game series. I think the Clippers will be fine.
Yeah, I have Clippers versus
Clippers
Houston.
will
I
be
think the
fine.
Clippers still win that series.
You can't go against Kawhi in the playoffs.
No. Even if playoff Paul George shows up, I think they're a stronger team than Houston. I think they're a stronger team than Dallas.
I don't know, man. People are gonna sleep on the Clippers. I wouldn't.
I'm not sleeping on the Clippers.
I think I'm gonna have the Clippers going to the Western Conference Final.
Well, we'll find out in a second.
We'll find out pretty soon. Now, taking it to the first round of the Eastern Conference, 1-8. I had the Bucks versus Nets. I think the Nets are going to drop from 7 to 8.
So did
my
I.
God.
So did I. I
Oh
think
my
they're going to
God.
drop easily. I think that's going to be a sweep, and I think each game is going to be a double-digit point win.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
yeah,
half the
now,
Nets team isn't even showing
yeah,
up.
I have Milwaukee and Brooklyn, and I think Milwaukee will beat the Nets by 30 points each game.
We'll see about that. That's an interesting prediction.
Really bad. It's going to be really bad. Yeah,
I think it's going to be like 10+. I don't know about 30+.
I can see
Dude.
double digits.
Dude, the Bucks can sit Giannis, and they would still beat the Nets.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the Nets
Yeah.
are just missing. If they were healthy, it might be different.
If the Nets were
Yeah,
fully
so-
healthy, they wouldn't be the 8th seed.
Well,
Sure,
yeah.
they'd probably be like 5, 6.
Yeah, I could see that.
Right.
For 4 and 5, I had Miami versus Philadelphia, the Heat and Sixers.
I had Miami and Indiana.
I had Miami and Philadelphia as well.
I think with Oladipo being a question still,
If Oladipo comes back, I think that they'll beat the Sixers. I don't think that they'll beat Miami though.
The
I
thing is,
don't
the
like-
Sixers have a really easy schedule. That's why I see them jumping up to 5.
yeah. And the Pacers, especially if Oladipo isn't there, that's going to make things harder for them.
Mhm.
So I would have the Heat beating the Sixers in that series.
So would I. I love the Heat. They have such a deep roster.
My only concern with Miami is their youth. Guys like Tyler Hero and Kendrick Nunn being such crucial parts of that team, yet
Then
having
you
no
got-
playoff experience because they're rookies.
I like having Jimmy, though. Jimmy, I think, will help them a lot.
Yeah, playoff Jimmy's gonna help.
Bam, Andre.
I still think Iguodala is a question mark.
Didn't the Miami, didn't they have a questionable comment on their Instagram the other day?
I didn't see. I don't follow them on Instagram.
I don't either.
I don't know. I saw something like that.
I don't know. For the 3-6 matchup in the Eastern Conference, I have Boston versus Indiana, Celtics and Pacers.
Yep, so do I. I got Celtics. I don't think it'll be that hard for the Celtics, like 5 or 6 games maybe.
Yeah. I think the Celtics have a pretty strong team. Strongest it's been since the last Isaiah Thomas team.
People sleep on Jason Tatum.
You got Tatum, Brown, Kemba, Hayward.
I don't love they don't have as much depth as I would like. And I think that could be their downfall.
I think they'll beat Indiana pretty easily.
Yeah, they can beat
Jason
Indiana,
Tatum's
but
elite.
out of the first round, regardless of who they'd be playing,
If
I
you
think that-
don't think
I don't know,
Jason
Kurt.
Tatum's elite, you're an idiot.
I might disagree with you in the next round.
we'll see.
If you don't think Jason Tatum is an elite player, you're an idiot.
He is an elite player. And then the final Eastern Conference first round matchup, Toronto Raptors versus Orlando Magic.
I have Toronto and Brooklyn. I have Brooklyn beating Toronto.
Wow, you're such a cool kid.
I'm joking.
I got the Raptors beating the Magic in 5. I'm going to give the Magic 1 game, but it's going to be like 5. It shouldn't be
I think
too bad
Just
for the
like
Raptors.
last year.
If Jonathan Isaac isn't playing, that just makes things even easier for Toronto. And I've heard rumors that he isn't.
I think that's going to be a 4 or 5 game series.
Yeah, I don't think the Magic have much of a shot.
Yeah, either way, it doesn't matter.
I like the Magic. I think they have some really good pieces, but they need to make a big move in order to really take that next step forward. So for my second round matchups, I have the Lakers and Jazz and the Clippers and
Yep.
Mavericks.
That's what I have.
I have Lakers and Thunder versus the Clippers and Nuggets.
Well, I mean, for mine, because my things, I haven't based it off of like the games that are going to be played before the bubble. I have it like what the stats are now.
Okay.
But I have the Lakers and Jazz, and then in the second round I have Denver and the Clippers.
I personally have the Lakers and Clippers both winning.
Yeah, so do I.
I don't
I
think
have
the
the
Mavericks
Lakers in 5, and then I have the Clippers in 6.
I don't
Yeah,
think the
I
Mavericks
don't-
are experienced enough to beat a team like the Clippers just yet.
But I mean, I don't know. I really, really think that the Clippers could beat the Lakers in the Western Conference Final.
Well,
We'll
we'll
talk
see
about
that in
that.
the next round.
We'll talk about that in the next round. But we're all Lakers and Clippers win.
Yep.
Yep.
All right, now for the Eastern Conference, things are going to get interesting.
Yes, they are.
The Bucks
Me,
versus
I
the
have-
Heat.
I have
The Raptors
Milwaukee
versus
and
Celtics.
Miami. I have Milwaukee and Miami. And then probably I'm taking Boston and Toronto.
Yeah, that's what
I
I
have
had.
Boston and Toronto, and then the Bucks, Miami. I think we all have the same.
Okay, let's
Yeah.
start off with the Bucks and Miami. I think Miami's going to put up a fight, but Milwaukee is still going to win.
I think Miami will put up a fight. I mean, and if the Raptors do beat Boston, I think Milwaukee's got something for them. Because
We'll talk
like,
about that soon. We need to talk about the conference semifinals.
We didn't talk about
first.
this one. I got the Bucks beating Miami, but I'm saying it's a 7-game series. I think that one's going to
it's
come
6.
down to the wire.
I'm taking 5 or 6.
I'm saying Bucks and 6 right there.
I'm just saying Bam and Jimmy, they can both play defense, and I don't know. That might give them some problems in some games.
I don't think that they can lock up Giannis, so that's the problem.
I think Giannis is
Like-
going to be a problem, and I think this is when their youth and their inexperience with guys like Hero and Nunn is going to be a problem.
think that there is I think one player in this league that can lock up, that can actually like guard Giannis really well.
And that is?
Kawhi.
Yeah.
It's Kawhi.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it clearly showed in all 7 games in last year's Eastern Conference Final.
It was 6, by the way.
Oops.
Come on, Sam. You should know that.
Why?
Because you're a sportsman.
Yeah. Now
Should I
for the
just leave
Raptors
group
and
then? Should I just
and
leave the group
Celtics.
now?
Now for the Raptors and Celtics. Trey, you hinted earlier that you're going to have a controversial take here.
I did. I think Boston's taking the Raptors out.
I could see it. I could definitely see it. But, I mean,
It's going to be a fight. I
it's
have
just,
Toronto
I
winning.
think Toronto is a lot deeper. They're a lot more – like, they've got a lot more veterans like Gasol, Ibaka.
Have you
those
seen
guys.
Gasol? Have you seen Gasol
Dude,
right now?
Huge.
Gasol lost a bunch of weight. Terrence Davis said he looks like prime Marc Gasol now, which if we get somewhere in between last year Marc Gasol and prime Marc Gasol, the league is in trouble.
I don't know. I like Tatum, Brown, and Kemba, and Hayward. I like all those guys. I think they're going to show up.
Tatum has only averaged 14.6 points per game against Toronto in his career.
I don't know. Maybe it's time for him to turn it around.
I don't know. He might turn it around. I don't know. That one's a tough one.
I think it's 6.
That's going to be one where it's like whoever shows up to play.
I think we're a deeper team, and I think Nick Nurse has something in store for Brad Stevens.
Don't sleep on my boy Brad Stevens.
I like Brad Stevens. Yeah. I think Nick Nurse is the best coach in the league, though.
I don't know. Could be.
All right, now it's time for the conference finals. Let's start off with the Battle of LA, Lakers and Clippers.
Oh,
Trey, who
yeah.
do you have winning?
I got Lakers in 7. I'm going with the Lakers.
Sam?
Yeah, I'm going with the Lakers. Well, wait, what are we talking about? Are we talking about second? Oh, we're talking. I'm an idiot. I'm taking Clippers. I think I have the Clippers in that.
I have the Clippers. I think they're a much deeper team. Playoff Paul George, that could be a problem, but
I like
Kawhi is amazing.
Kawhi. I don't think that they can hold. Because there's only. I think that there's only one guy on that team that might be able to hold Kawhi for like a whole game, maybe, and that's Anthony Davis. But
I don't know. I'm just thinking LeBron's going to be rested. He's going to be ready to go. Him and AD are probably going to try to do it for Kobe, and I think that's going to motivate him through it.
I don't like the Lakers' depth, though. They don't really have a lot of, especially with Rondo out.
Huge drop-off. There's a huge drop-off. Because it's like Danny Green.
Playoff Danny Green isn't good. Last year,
and you got Caruso.
Sam likes Caruso.
Unless Alex Caruso takes the power from all the memes that have been made of him over the years. That's the only way I see the Lakers winning, unless LeBron goes like.
Don't sleep on AC Fresh, Kurt. Speaking of the devil, look who just popped up on my Instagram.
Caruso?
Yes, we do.
Okay.
I say we cut this little part out.
Yeah,
Eastern Conference Finals. Eastern Conference Finals. I have Bucks and Raptors. Sam, you also have Bucks and Raptors, correct?
I have the Bucks.
Trey, you have Bucks and Celtics.
I do.
It doesn't matter what team it is. It's going to be the Bucks.
I'm gonna be interesting. I'm not gonna be boring and just pick the Bucks. I think the Celtics really have a shot in 7.
I mean, they have a shot, but I mean, who on that team can guard Giannis?
I don't know. I'm just saying, like Jalen Rose, he said it on ESPN. He's like, if you're talking about like a pickup style game, Tatum, Brown, Hayward, Kemba are like the kind of guys you want.
Trey, supporting your argument. Small ball team. Trey, supporting your argument, and this is why I think Raps in 7. I'm going Raps in 7. What Toronto did last year to beat Milwaukee was shut down all the other options and force Giannis to beat them. If they can shut down Middleton and Bledsoe, I think they could be in a good situation.
I think Toronto something crazy is going to happen. I think something's crazy going to happen.
I think Toronto can shut down Middleton and Bledsoe again. I think Nurse has something in store for Budenholzer. And the big problem with Milwaukee is they allow so many threes. They will give up the three to prevent an easy layup. And Toronto has so many great three-point shooters.
And not to mention, Korver, one of their three-point shooters, he doesn't play good in the playoffs.
It's true.
Well, Bledsoe's non-existent.
Is Bledsoe out? Or no?
No, Bledsoe's playing.
He tested positive for COVID, but I believe he's still playing. I just don't see him being a huge factor.
Okay.
Now for the NBA Finals. Sam, you have Bucks and Clippers.
Yep, I do.
Trey, you have Celtics.
Celtics.
And Lakers.
Celtics.
Classic, the classic. And I have Raptors and Clippers. Revenge against Kawhi.
I have Kawhi beating the Bucks again.
I have Lakers over Celtics in 6.
I think in that series Beverly is going to be a huge factor too.
I can see Pat Bev being a big piece of why the Clippers win.
Yeah.
But I think based on how we've played against the Clippers this year, because the games we did play, we were missing pieces. The first game that was in LA, Matt Thomas had 11 minutes, Terrence Davis, 17. We were missing Serge Ibaka the first game. Granted, they were missing Paul George. The second game, they had Paul George. We were missing Fred VanVleet. I think it's going to be a fight regardless. But this is when I think playoff Paul George becomes a little bit of a problem for them.
I don't know.
I think it's going to be a 7-game series regardless.
We'll just have to wait and see.
We'll have to wait
Wicker,
and see.
what was your pick? Who'd you pick?
Raps in 7.
I think I'm taking 7. 7, depending on who's in there, it's 7.
Well, I'm having Lakers over Celtics in 6. I think the Lakers would destroy the Celtics.
Whoa.
What?
All right, this is completely off topic, but there's a growing belief in college football that top players will skip the 2020 season to get ready for the NFL draft.
I believe it.
That'd be, I don't know.
Hell, if they can't organize the NFL properly, how do you expect them to organize college football?
Yeah, I mean, if Trevor Lawrence doesn't play, I don't think anybody's stopping Notre Dame.
That's assuming you don't have anyone sitting out.
I don't think we will. Our top player is – we don't have very many I mean, we could have a few offensive linemen sit out. Ian Book isn't sitting out because he needs this year. That's the reason why he stayed.
He does because he's he's a late round pick probably at this point. He needs to grow his stock more.
And then we don't have very many other seniors on the team. It's like most of our team. Well, we've got Dalen Hayes might sit out.
I don't know. We'll see. All right, those were our predictions for the 2020 Orlando Bubble NBA playoffs. We'd really like to hear what you guys thought of our predictions, and we'd like to hear your predictions as well. So leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Be sure to like the podcast, subscribe if you enjoyed, and listen to our other episodes. Once again, the Three Sportsmen is a weekly podcast, so be sure to tune in for next week's episode. And remember, trust the podcast.